So, topped up with water at Fry's Mill, a little shop at Lidl, and then we're heading out of the city. The sun's out, hopefully it'll warm up because my hands are bitterly cold this morning. But it's nice, clear, fresh days, so this is perfect cruising weather, even if it's a little chilly. Alright, well this is the first of many locks today, right outside the King Power Stadium, which we did go to with my son the other day, but we won't talk about that result. So, right, lock 1. Well, lock 41. Alright, this lock opposite the King Power Stadium, I've played on this lock since I was about 11 years old, and we did all of our underage drinking on the little island behind me, because there was a layer of defence between us and the big kids and the adults with the lock gates and the towpath. Yeah, a lot of memories around here. It's changed a little bit, but the actual canal part of it is exactly the same. Yeah, happy days. Railway line that we set fire to when we were children. Not so happy days. And if anyone's passing through into Leicester, okay, this is Simon and Julie, who are going to be the new proprietors at the cafe on the King's Lock on the way in. Always a nice little stop off, because you can also moor before you hit the city just over there. So stop off for a night, coffee, afternoon teas, probably some ice cream in the summer. Happy days. Now, back last April when we made our first journey into Leicester ever on a canal boat, we bumped into Vinny, who I like to call the Swan Whisperer, because he kind of looks after little families of swans and their territories, etc. And we bumped into him again on the way out of Leicester several months later, and kind gentleman's helping us get through the locks, which is quite good because it's a bit cold and Camille's doing a lot of the work on her own, so Vinny's giving us a bit of a hand. There's no denying that it is getting cold now, and we're still not quite got the heating installed because of all the delays. We had delay, we ordered the stove, they said 4 weeks, 4 weeks turned into 5, and then no response from emails and text. I understand lots of people are having supply problems, but could have let us know. So then we went to the next supplier. They said they had one in stock. No problem, pick it up on Monday. Turned out to be the Monday afterwards. A bit of a communication issue there, but we've got that's on board. The vermiculite boards to protect all the heat boards that surround it, they arrived afterwards. One was broken, so we had to wait for that one to be replaced. And then the flues are nearly here, so I'm hoping that we're only days away from having that installed, because I ain't used to this. Doing the engine checks in the morning is cold, but it's necessary, because even though my hands are bitterly cold, if I don't check the oil and the coolant and the gearbox oil, and we have a serious breakdown in this weather, it's going to be 10 times worse. So, plus the engine's new, and so far so good. We've just passed the Walford Arm, and we're on course to be past Yelvertoft. We need to get the other side of Yelvertoft before it closes for some works to be done, part of the winter closures. Otherwise we'll be trapped on this side, and I don't want to be trapped on this side. We want to be on the other side because we have our own little plan for winter, which we devised before we had the engine taken out. We found a spot, convenient supermarkets close to waste disposal, and we can mix up a bit of city and a bit of country over the winter. That's the plan. We'll see. Well, the sun's coming out now. Warm me, please. Yeah, it's still chilly, but it's nice. It's got all that clear, fresh winter stuff that I don't mind. It's the damp and the cold. And in the morning, everything you touch is metal or wet and cold. And I better get used to that. So I'm not complaining. I'm just stating facts. The metal is cold. The water is cold. It is cold. Cold! I want my stove! I want my stove! And this will be Camille's solution to the Arctic weather. She's now a Jamaican Dalmatian. I can't fit another 100 of you in here though, babe.
Pretty sight.
It would be a pretty sight. Konbanwa. Alright, we made it. Well, we nearly made it. We're literally just round the corner from where the closure will be in 2 days' time, so we have plenty of time to spare. And I'll be ahead of the game to meet Elliot to get the solid fuel stove installed, which is of the utmost urgency now because it's getting cold, and I've resorted to burning the crate that the engine arrived in and the crate that the stove arrived in. I'll burn anything just to stay warm right now, but yeah, happy because it's literally just within grasp, and it's all part of the adventure anyway. I've not been through winter for so many years that it's borderline fun. He lied. Anyhow, at least the beer's cold. I'll leave it outside because it stays very, very cold. And I'd like to thank Sue this time, my old neighbour. Cheers, Sue. That was a surprise, and a very, very welcome surprise, so thanks for that. And Dooley. Cheers, Doolio, for these. And then there's Larry and Deb as well, who also sent some money via Patreon, which we haven't really got set up yet. That's really appreciated because obviously we met you in very embryonic stages of our adventure as well, so thank you very much for that as well. Yeah, all these things, even the people in the past, anyone who's used the buy me a coffee link to buy us beer or coffee, or now the Patreon, or anyone along the way has helped out, has been hugely appreciated in more ways than you can imagine, because most of it has been very, very unexpected, and we've had lots of help along the way from many, many people, be it boaters along the way, Kaz and Reb giving us the washing machine, and all these things that people have just done, and most of the time they've offered the help or assistance without any prompting, which was massive surprise. So there's a lot for us human beings to be thankful for, because there's a lot of good spirit out there for quite obvious reasons, because there's a lot of good people out there for sure. I think there's more good people out there than bad people, but good people don't make good news, does it? They like to focus on all the bad. Let's forget about all the bad. We've had enough of that for about a year and a half. Let's focus on all the good right now and see what we can all do to make our lives better. Anyway, I'm going to make mine better now. I'm going to warm up by the fire and have a beer. Cheers, guys. Yeah, I like that. It's the beers.